Hi there, it's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay, let's get on with the show.
Every week's an epic feat. They shed light on what's the trend. When will the madness ever end? From movies to the latest shows, you never know how far they'll go. Come aboard and take the ride. Let's uncover what's inside. Warriors of the night, here to fight. Pop culture explosions in the spotlight. Tune in for laughter and some cheers.
everybody. Welcome. It is April 28th, 2026. This is episode 240 of Pop Culture Warrior, the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I'm CQ. I've scratched up my neck pretty bad. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, that looks terrible. Anyway, fucking cats. Hey, how you guys doing? As always, happy to have you with us, but I can't do it all myself. So let's bring in our merry little man, the one, the only, Mr. Mad Mike, ladies and gentlemen. Pew, 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 pew.
Calm down. You're welcome. I'm here. Fulfilled my contractual obligations.
Isn't it like your anniversary
you renegotiate, you want to put in there he has to be enthusiastic.
Yes, yeah. Next time.
I'm going to do the bare minimum every time.
I will add a couple zeros at the end of your paycheck. Okay.
It's just all zeros. You fucking asshole.
Couple more. As many zeros as you want to add
Get
on there.
all the zeros you want.
All the zeros.
That's in my contract. Can't have any real numbers in there.
If you could scoot just a tiny bit to your left or turn the camera to the right, either way.
It's centered on my end. What the fuck you got going on?
Little other way.
That's my right.
Other
you
way.
Fucking dumbass.
Whatever. There we go. We get this figured out one day. That's good enough. Good enough.
I told you before the show, stop messing with shit in between shows.
I can't help it. Welcome, everybody. It's so great to have you back. Lots to talk about. And later in the program, we've got a special guest joining us live. He is the incredible comedy sketch writer behind some of the most famous, well-known skits out of Key Peele and SNL and MADtv and a bunch of others. This dude is Rich Talarico. I promise you guys are going to love this conversation. He is phenomenal. So stay tuned for that in the second hour. But first, how are you, buddy? I missed you, man. I feel like we haven't done this in a while. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm living.
Yeah. Is today your anniversary? I heard. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Everybody
funny, 'cause that's what my kids do too. They're like, hold on, and then they're, oh, it's your anniversary, and then they fucking play that shit from Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy.
Oh God.
Like the only other two people that watch that movie. We got 3 people that watch it.
You make up half the audience. There you go.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to our friends over at Meridia Books. They sent us over a treasure trove of new books from previous guest. Was it Josh? Well, no, this was Josh Baker. It was Leo Baker who came on the other week. Red Rovers. I'm gonna dive into this because this is that teleportation special ops book. Super excited to read that. I love my sci-fi. I love my military stuff. But they also sent over the Blackbird and Glitter, a cataclysmic.
Is that the Blackbird
novel
from the show? Like that they made the show HBO? I think it was HBO.
Are you talking about? Was it?
It's called Blackbird, wasn't it?
It was Bird Box, something like that.
No, that's Sandra Bullock. Blackbird was with fuck, here we go. Figure it out. What's that British spy movie where when their heads explode, it's painted or whatever?
Oh, you're talking about
Colin something was in it.
Yeah,
but Blackbird had the younger dude that was the spy learning to do the shit. Taylor Egerton. Fuck you guys. I figured it out on my own, you stuff. It had him in it, and then it had the fat guy that's playing
Walter Hauser or something like that.
And then the fat guy that's playing Michael Larson, not the school one that you see here before you, but the guy that rigged the game shows back in like the early 80s or whatever. I forget. I don't know his
Paul
name.
Heiser or something like that. Walter Heiser.
They're both in Blackbird, and one of them's he's a serial
killer, and the other guy's like a criminal.
Is that the fucking book or not? God damn it.
You wouldn't shut the fuck up, so I can't get a word in. No, this is not the book. This is about In the quiet expanse of rural Eastern Europe, a young deaf boy observes a mysterious stranger rent the cabin on his mother's farm, and a bunch of other stuff. So, from the writer of Silencer and The Spy Without a Country, and the directors of the sci-fi thriller Kin, The Blackbird is an intimate and gripping story about those caught in the dark shadows cast by hired assassins.
Nice.
I should definitely get into voiceover work, man. I really should. I got a task for it. Anyway, I got a bunch of those, a bunch of books to dive into. I'm very excited. So big shout out to Meridia Books. Thanks for sending those over.
Stuff that you're doing for free. Like, I don't know, run this show properly.
You're such an ass. Hey, Wayne, how's it going? Quick shout out to everybody watching it at home. Anubis, Wayne, Heath, I see y'all all. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Mad Mike must have taken his special pills to remember all that.
That's right.
He took the ginkgo biloba today. Yes.
Ginkgo biloba.
The ginkgo biloba. Excellent. Any other? Ooh, some cool on some very cool news. Very excited. This is the first time we're announcing it officially. Our Memorial Day special episode, which will air before Memorial Day because it's going to tee up Memorial Day. We're going to have Gary Sinise. Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan is going to be joining us here in Pop Culture Warrior. I'm so fucking excited. The dude is a legend, is one of the nicest people on the earth, and just an all-around cool dude. So, hey, Angry Elf, what's up, buddy? So he's joining us. We got a couple other guests, surprise guests that we're locking in. Rumor has it, I'm still waiting for. Well, I shouldn't say I'm still waiting. Fuck it. I'm still waiting for final confirmations, but us here at WTF Nation Radio are teaming up with the Grunt Style folks over the Grunt Style Foundation to host a Memorial Day concert. So there'll be a couple of us from the station in Nashville, Tennessee, home of, Country and Blues. We will be there. We're going to be on a concert. There's rumored a party bus that will host live interviews hosted by yours truly, and special guests, musicians, military influencers. You would know some of them, or maybe you wouldn't. I don't know, but it's all coming together. It's all still kind of loosey goosey, but it's looking like this is gonna happen. So very excited, and yeah, tune in for that because that's gonna be really something. It's gonna be really, really something if it all happens. But dude, so many things happening, so many big things coming to fruition. I have a couple of talks with. Anyway, I don't know, guys. Lots of things. I don't want to tease things that might not end up happening. So, what else? Did I miss anything? I feel like there's so many things happening. Such big things. Like we'll get to the pop culture news. We will. I promise.
I don't go to the meetings. I don't do shit. I just show up here sometimes, and that's
barely. I just show up here barely. Yeah. Physically.
He texts me, and then like I don't answer. Like, are you going to show up? And I said, you'll see.
I guess
maybe, that's how this works.
Yeah. You put a number in there. It's just 13.
That's why he's
like,
always
what the fuck does that mean?
Why he's so sweaty.
This lights are so bright. No, all right, cool. Let's talk some pop culture news, man.
Anyways, Gary Sinise's best work was in Up Mice and Men. That's my favorite. But anyways.
Ooh, good pull. So, lots of things happening in pop culture. Obviously, we got the end of Invincible, the season last week. We've got a few more episodes.
I haven't watched it. I'm still in season fucking 2, you assholes. And I read so many spoilers. I'm like so upset.
Well, fucking catch up.
I gotta stop doing research for this fucking show. Is my problem.
Man. Yeah, you could be using that time to take personality classes, you know?
Yeah,
try to find
or
one.
watch the fucking show.
But we got new episodes of The Boys coming. What else? What was the other show that's
The last episode, they got the
last
prequel
episodes.
coming out, and they
Yes.
canceled Gen V.
Gen V?
I
Yeah.
think finally, rest in peace, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Gen V. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see how they're gonna do the whole I think it's called Vought Rising, the prequel series.
I think it'll be better now. Like they introduced the character, everyone liked it, so it'll be better. Like than Gen V, where it's like they try to go like too. I don't know. It's like unfamiliar territory. The characters weren't really interesting and stuff. And then the guy died, and then it's like it fucked everything up.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we'll
I
see.
think this has more traction because it's like, he's like the
It's
guy
got
that made
famous-
Homelander, and it's
Yeah.
Jensen Ackles, who's like
Yeah.
fucking handsome. He's
They got
sexy.
they got a bunch of famous, really
Yeah.
high profiles. And Stormfront is coming back, but as the original character of Liberty, or Lady Liberty. Or
And
whatever
I
her
think
name is.
that's the key to those type of shows. It's like what gets you interested is the characters that surround the thing. Like, so if you're like, oh, I know that character, like you're more into it than is like, who the hell are all these people? Are they going to be in the real thing? No, they're not. Like you lose interest. Like nobody knew really who the guy that died's dad was. He was like a minor character in like what 3 episodes or something. So it's like, if they would have had maybe like the fucking fish dude or something, I don't know, maybe it would have done better. But you got to include the stuff that people know. Like,
I love it.
Anyways.
And Daredevil's going to be wrapping up as well.
and then we get Punisher. That's all we want.
I think we have like the last 2 episodes of Daredevil, and
May
then
5th.
a week later we'll have the Punisher One Last Kill, and then shortly after that we've got Spider-Man coming.
Got
Woo!
nothing but disappointing. Oh, Spider-Man. Yeah.
Spider-Man, brand new day, man. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. I love me some Spidey.
That's
Speaking of Spider-Man, have you seen the trailer for Spider Noir? Starring
I saw
Nicolas
the
Cage.
one like a couple months ago or whatever.
No, there's a new one. They just dropped a new
I didn't
one.
watch the new one. I'm kind of not really watching them because I know it's like there's only so much they could do with it. So I'm just gonna watch the show and not let the trailer spoil it.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Because it's like he was cool in the Spider-Verse, but it's like you got they would have got 6-8 episodes, and it's like you're gonna show me a trailer and you're gonna ruin.
Yeah.
There's not much you're
they
gonna
show
do
a
with
lot.
the character.
They show a lot.
You're gonna ruin the whole series, and then I'm not gonna watch it.
Here's the thing. I watched the Spider Noir trailer, and they've got some talented actresses in it. The special effects, it looks like Amazon put the money into the special effects. The problem is when Spider Noir is web swinging, it works. Like it visually it works. But there are a couple of scenes where they're falling or moving or doing actions where Nicolas Cage's face is revealed. And no CGI is good enough to make CGI Nick Cage look good while like swinging around and doing all this acrobatic stuff. There's just no CGI powerful enough. There's no, if you put every ChatGPT, every ounce of processing power that ChatGPT has, it couldn't make CGI Nick Cage look good.
Yeah, because he's got his weird, stupid face flapping in the wind.
It looks so weird. Visually, all the special effects actually look really good. They really do. I won't spoil anything since you want to be, but there are powers, there are use cases, the webbing and all that stuff. It looks good. But yeah, that they took me right out of the trailer. Like I was like, oh, this looks pretty good. And then there's like a scene where he's like falling, but without the mask and all that. And I'm like, ugh, that CGI looks We're talking like
Man.
Neo in the Matrix Resurrection level CGI, you know, when he's fighting the million Smiths. Yeah, it just
It's also a lot of work. I mean, the guy's been doing cocaine and heavy drinking for like fucking 100 years.
allegedly.
No, it's true. Partied with all like fucking Charlie Sheen had to stop partying with him. That's like how like hardcore that dude is.
Not enough tiger blood in the world.
Yeah,
Or was it?
so
Yeah,
it's
tiger
like-
blood.
It's a lot of work on those poor fucking guys. It's like, you know,
But yeah, I mean, it's I'm really trying to be.
you love
Optimistic.
Spider-Man and you
do.
fucking don't want to diss it because it's like cool.
I'm
it
trying
hurts
to
your
be positive. I'm trying to be optimistic. Look, Venom is one of my all-time favorite characters at all. I will shit on those movies because they fucking did him dirty.
It's fucking terrible.
They did him fucking dirty. And like while Spider-Man Noir isn't one of like my top favorites, I do respect the creativity behind it. Again, from the source material, it was interesting. It was a different premise,
Different.
and a lot of what they did was it wasn't superpowers. That's the thing. This is what is disheartening a little bit to me is like if you're gonna do Spider-Man Noir, do it like the books did it. Like they did it well.
Yeah, the fucking night, you know, the old whatever 20s
1950s,
movie
1920s,
nostalgia,
yeah.
like private eye type shit.
They did it well. There was no
Yeah,
web
see?
swinging. There were
We're
no
Spider-Man.
there were no special powers. Like everybody was, they were gangsters. Like they were like mob bosses, and they were the like the Vulture, the Tombstone, all they were mob bosses, and so like they were tough and everything, but they weren't super powered. And Spider-Man himself, no web swinging. He put on the mask, and he just did more like acrobatic, kind of like climbing and things like that.
Hardcore.
Yeah, parkour. And this one is just taking so much liberty with that because it's Ben Reilly, right? Because I guarantee they're like, we cannot use Peter Parker for this. We cannot give Nick Cage the name Peter Parker. It's Ben Reilly. It's organic web shooting, like so. There's actual superpowers in this. There's actual web swinging. Like it got further and further away. Like I bet you the original script writer, like the original screenplay writer, like just adapted the comic books, and then every pass by an executive is like, but it's Spider-Man, he should have webs.
He gotta swing. Yeah,
he's gotta swing.
Yeah.
And then what he needs villains. He needs super. They gotta have powers. They gotta
Give
have
him a
powers.
plasma cannon and shit. And it's like, it's the fucking 20s, you cocksuckers. The cars barely go more than 20 miles an hour. And then you got the guy flipping through the air at fucking 50 miles an hour. Like,
Let's
what
say
the
he
fuck?
can just jump from car to car. You don't need superpowers from
They're
it.
not
They're barely
going
moving.
fast. It's a fucking school zone everywhere in the country. And that's ripping. They're ripping it by. You got them doing 20 miles an hour down the road, and people are like, "Slow down, you fucking maniac!"
There are people still riding horses. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's still an approved method of
And
transportation.
then you
is
got
horses.
this guy ripping through the air with fucking webs. Like the people would be having heart attacks. Like they literally played what the Orson Welles at fucking War of the Worlds, and fucking people were killing themselves because they thought the world was coming to an end. And now you got a guy that's fucking heavily used cocaine and alcohol ripping through the air with fucking strings and he's doing flips at 55 fucking years old or whatever the fuck he is. Like,
and that's the other thing. Like, there's obviously a kind of love interest situation, right? Because you got to have that. You got to have it. And the actress playing her, I swear she can't be more than like 24, 25. And then he's like 70. So it just looks...
Dude, gross. We're not retarded.
So
we can
gross.
tell he's old as shit now. Nicolas Cage has been in everything since like 1972.
Yes. Hey, Spider Horse. There was an actual Spider Horse in the continuity of comics. There's a Spider Rex. There was a Spider Cat.
Spider everything, because comics,
Spider Ham.
They have to keep pumping material out.
Yeah,
which is
there's
how we
been a
got
lot of-
Spider-Man Noir and all the shit in Spider-Verse.
Yeah. There was a Lone Ranger Spider-Man who rode a horse that horse, like the horse had no powers, but it had a mask on,
just
which
wore the mask.
I thought was hilarious. It's like, what a dick thing to do. You're
Yeah.
protecting the identity of the horse.
Yeah.
They can't know I'm a vigilante. The horses will make fun of me.
I was like, no, I can't see anything. But yeah, I hate when they do that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't expect much from it. I'm
Yeah.
like, 2 notches above, like,
If it's
Sony
even
work.
somewhat good, then that's a win, I think. If it's watchable, if you can get past like episodes 1 and 2 and you're like, I'll still watch it, that's a win. Because I'm
giving them credit because like Amazon does pretty good, and I feel bad because they spent a lot of money. Like I'm sure Nicolas Cage ain't cheap. I don't know.
Have you seen his discography?
But I'm
filmology?
assuming they gave him at least like 10 million, which is a lot for a fucking 8-episode show.
Yeah. Operator wants to know, is Spider-Man Noir going to have any connection to the animated movie he was in? No. Even though it is voiced by the same actor, it has nothing to do with the animated Into the Spider-Verse movies. The only connection being that they share the same voice because it's the same guy. But because even in that movie, it was the Spider-Man Noir from the comics, and that it was a Peter Parker variant.
And didn't he have a gun in that too, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, he had a
for
gun.
a second, or at least.
Yeah. Not in the movie, but in the comics, he carried a pistol. He carried his grandfather's service revolver from WW1, the Great War.
WW1 or if you're a fucking Democrat from Minnesota.
We didn't call it World War I, we called it the Great War.
WW1. Was that the Simpsons guy always said? Anyways.
Yes. So yeah. We'll see.
If you heard, well, I sent it to you, but did you see the stuff from CinemaCon with the Spider-Verse shit?
Yep.
They showed like clips. They showed a trailer, but we don't have access to that yet. Somebody's got to work on it. Maybe don't go to voice acting school and fucking get in on that action.
I can't be everywhere as much as I want to be. I can't be.
The next Spider-Verse is the last one, and whatever, people liked it. It's like, it's their most popular thing. It's awesome.
Yeah. So they're not going to do any more of that. There's rumors that they want to get into like the the Batman Batman Beyond. They're trying to bring that to life, and there's a couple things that they're trying to work on. They just did obviously Project Hail Mary, which was massively successful. I think it made like $800 million on a $200 million budget, something like that. So yeah, lot to come. But
did you see the Clayface? Well, you run the show. You run the show, big boy. Go ahead.
I love it when you bring things to me. Please go ahead.
Did you watch a Clayface trailer?
I did see the Clayface trailer
too, and I kind of like the way he's taking it.
I was interesting.
Like it's kind of a stupid character. Like he's one of the ones where it's like they were trying, like reaching, like, man, we got deadlines this month. What are we gonna do? That's how I've always felt Clayface was. It's like at least he's portrayed like a stupid. He's always like a runner-up villain. Like it's like Clayface and then Joker. He's like a like a minor obstacle to the bigger villain and everything.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that has to do with he's not meant to be intelligent, right? He's
Clay, big dumb
Clay. But even like in his alter ego, in his human life, he was this kind of special effects makeup guy, and he was so high and mighty of himself, but he was kind of dumb, and that's the whole thing. Man, Mike went echoey again. Oh no.
Is it me? Let me check this.
Sorry about that, guys. If it did indeed, I apologize. But yeah, no. The whole thing.
I think it's interesting take. I don't know.
Echo cancellation. Let's do that off. All right. Anyway, noise suppression off.
I don't know.
Anyway,
one person or multiple people?
I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway,
People can hear us or not, anyways. Fuck.
yeah. Since when do we care? What was I gonna say? Shit, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, no, it's he's always been kind of a like he's the brawn, not the brain, right?
Right.
Shit, man. I'm trying to. Anyway, so it's one of those things where you don't really know if let's see if I put this there. If a character is gonna work, and over the years they tend to shift, right? Because sometimes there'll be characters, oh, super corny, and then you get that one writer who figures it out, right? Who figures out how to twist it into
that
the
was like what they did with the Riddler, which was fucking great. Like, because he was also stupid, and then like, oh, like when they have fucking Jim Carrey with the question, like, yeah, no, like this shit's stupid, dude. We're not in the '60s.
Yeah.
And then they made him like, yeah, like you would think he would be in real life, like a weird fucking, creepy pedophile type dude.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Paul Tito is in real life, allegedly.
So that's why I like that they're doing that, like with these villains. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. With the Clayface trailer, it definitely leans into that kind of like horror, suspense, kind of the jump scares of it all. I'm really curious.
Kind of how you make it work, though. Like that's like probably the best approach to make it work. Other than like, oh look, I'm really big and I like smother you with clay. Like you're like, dude, here's some sunlight. I'll dry this bitch out, and you won't be able to do nothing. Like my kids leave fucking clay and Play-Doh out all the time. Just wait this one out.
He's not gonna get far. He's just outside like
shit. I just run outside and it was fucking and I win. Anyways, sorry.
No, I think yeah, like you were saying, you really play into it. I remember I read it somewhere where they said this is supposed to take place like I don't know if it's like before Batman's around or early when Batman's around, something like that. Like, so that, it's not like, why isn't Batman showing up right away or something like, you know what I mean? It's like early in his career or something like that. But I'm curious to see how they tie it in, right? Do they tie it into the larger universe of what the DCU is building? Is this going to be solely tied to the Matt Reeves, Robert Patterson, Batman? Is this going to be skewed towards the DCU? Are we going to see it in that so it's interesting. It's interesting for sure.
This was started by Matt Reeves, right? But didn't James Gunn produce it now or something?
It has bounced around so much. Because remember, there was supposed to be a Gotham show, like a Gotham PD show. And then they were going to do...
The Penguin was supposed to continue, I think.
And then that was supposed to continue. And it's been all over the place. It's been kind of all over the place. So I'm for sure interested to see how that's all going to shape up and work out, but it looks good. It looks good. Early indication, it looks good.
That's what, HBO?
That is HBO, yes. And the problem, everything's either going to be Disney or Paramount. The problem is a lot of the special effects, right? Because when you have these characters in the comic books, in the cartoons, they're larger than life. One of the reasons why we never had a live action claymation, Clayface, is like, how do you visually do that? How do you make something that doesn't look like a giant turd that's walking around, like a giant poop emoji,
without spending a whole bunch of money.
Without spending a lot of money. Which is why they focused on more ground level, Penguin, Riddler, ground level heroes that don't require a lot of special effects and things. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. I do love the idea of let these characters live, in a shared universe, but that doesn't mean everything has to be cut and paste the same. We've talked about this before, and that like Clayface makes sense in a very dark horror style of a movie. The Joker could work in a very over the top, stylistic, like almost seeing it from his perspective. Everything's kaleidoscopes and fucking, natural born killers, vibes. And then you can have your Superman cheerful, colorful, save the day, and they can all live in that same universe. It just,
well, because they do. It's like how we live.
Yeah.
Today, like if you're fucking insane, you could see everything like all bright colors and kaleidoscope while you're fucking slitting people's throats. Like, I don't fucking know. You're fucked up. But it's like your little picture, and then all of a sudden some asshole who's got billions of dollars fucking puts on spandex and starts pounding your fucking face in. And you're like, what the hell? And then he's like, it's justice. Just take a nap.
Oh, sleepy.
Vengeance. Whatever he says now. I can't remember.
Yes. Wayne says, if you think about it, Batman is kind of like Santa Claus. If his parents weren't killed, he would have had toys. So he gets rid of criminals that steal everything. Plus he makes his own toys. Yeah, sure. I got you. Like it's the other side of the coin. It's instead of Krampus, it's Batman.
Where does he get those great toys?
Yeah. Let's see. In some other news headlines, I gotta mention this just for the nostalgia of it. Shannon Elizabeth, who men of our age, I mean, let's be honest.
The lady from American Pie, right?
Yes. She was Nadia in American Pie, the foreign exchange student who we all would have been Jim in that moment, just like, I mean, amazing. She has joined OnlyFans, which, I mean, judge what you want, but Shay, good for you. Make your I've always said it. Make your bag how you got to make your bag. In her
I think we're the only people not on OnlyFans.
Speak for yourself, huh? Wink.
That's how you got all the big bucks.
But Shannon Elizabeth, in her first week, 7 days on OnlyFans, has reportedly pulled in $1.2 million. 1.2 million in a week.
You should just like change the name of that to like women. I don't know, something with women. Because like King Smith's been on there.
Onlyboobs.com.
The actual King Smith's been on there for like fucking 7 years, and he has made like $10 tops. And I think he only pays himself. I think he only pays himself.
Who wants to see King Smith's boobs? For real.
Well, he's like, oh, it's not just about nudity or whatever. I'm like, who the fuck? Like, no, I don't know anyone that goes on OnlyFans. It's like, yeah, I just want to see behind the scenes of
They've
whatever.
Got great articles. I'm only on OnlyFans for the articles.
I want to know about Shannon Elizabeth's acting chops.
Yes.
Like, did you go to Sweden to study that accent, or it's like, no. There's only one reason.
There's only one.
It's all dudes that fucking put up money. Like, none of the dudes. If you could look at every dude on OnlyFans, it's nowhere near the fucking pay that women are getting on there. It's like any popular lady that looks half decent is like at least $1 million. Any dude on there, maybe tops. I don't know. I don't even know any dudes that are on there, but I'm assuming it's probably like maybe tops like 50 grand at like the most.
No, not even.
Because also women are smarter with their money. They're not gonna fucking pay to see some guy's ugly fucking little dick on there.
Scott said it's like going to the hub for the plots.
Yeah. Oh, this is really good storyline we got going on here.
I'm just trying, it's a shared universe. I'm just
The
trying.
guy's just trying to fix the sink, and the lady won't leave him alone. Like, fuck, goddamn, fucking garbage disposal.
Who doesn't have a credit card? Who doesn't have Apple Pay?
In his face, like, what a bitch. Just really want to know how this plumbing job's done. I got the same problem at my house.
Same leak. Got the same drippy faucet. How does he fix it?
Just trying to work out in the gym. Like, yeah,
I bet he is. Yeah. So I mean, hey, kudos to her.
Make that money, player.
She
You're not
made
getting
that money.
movie roles. Fucking go on there. What's her name? Did it? Charlie Sheen's ex-wife made a bunch of money too.
Yeah. There's. I mean,
that's all I hear. That's the only headline. It's like so and so that you forgot about joined OnlyFans and now has millions of dollars. It's like, okay, God bless you. Like,
and, for
I was
years,
a lady, I'd be all up in there. I'd be on there. I'd be on Feet Finder. I'd be fucking selling my fucking panties. I would be fucking selling my pee. I'm like, so
farts in a jar. That's a big one. That's a big one.
Farts I'm over here doing this show for free, like fucking. Not even free. I'm fucking forced to do it. Like, oh, you're not gonna be my friend if you don't show up.
Nobody wants to pay for your farts. I tell you what, man. You're just giving them out for free.
It's all bark. There's no bite. That's the problem.
So,
anyways, no, get paid. Power to you. They're underpaid to begin with in the fucking film industry. So whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's what made you popular and made you money to begin with. Got you the job. Like,
yeah. Lean into it.
How old is she right now? Is she coming on our show? Wait, 50. She coming on our show first. We should precursor this.
So funny you should mention that. No, actually funny enough, she lives in Brazil now, and she does a lot of not community. What's it called? Like charity work and like building stuff and all that. So she does a lot for the underprivileged and things. So good for her. Good for her, man.
She's gonna be doing that in a thong on OnlyFans. Got it.
Basically, here I am feeding this underprivileged child.
Building this. I don't know how they live in Brazil, but it's like, oh, I'm building this shack. And it's like, why is your tits out? I'm like, I don't care.
It's hot. It's very hot. Sold.
Anyways, that's how they always are in Brazil. Anyways, everyone's like always half naked. Except Jesus, who's on a hill like this.
Yes. Yeah. He's like, repent, sinners.
Yeah, you fucking
so much nudity.
You are all sinners. That's why they put a 50-foot tall Jesus statue on a cliff.
Oh man.
Over the
US Army memes. What's up, man?
Anyways.
In other news, there is a Django Zorro crossover movie reportedly in the works.
Is it Django? I thought it was Django.
Oh my god!
You don't pronounce shit on this.
You don't pronounce.
I've been like,
right?
What's the Django?
Django.
I wonder why everyone's like, what? What movie is that?
Django. You ever seen that Django?
I say it like I see it. Why is there a D in there if you don't want me to say it?
It's Django. It's a silent D. Obviously, you never seen the movie. It's a great movie, Django Unchained. Oh, great movie.
I don't pay attention to people's names, and I don't remember it because I saw it like 5 years ago.
Anyway, so there's a Django Zorro crossover movie that's in the works. Reportedly, Quentin Tarantino has nothing to do with it. He's not directing it. He's not involved, but
doesn't want to get credit because he's only going to do 10 fucking movies. You queer.
But he did give Sony his blessing to develop it and to go forward with it. So I think
it's written by this new guy. His name is Jake Quanton Quantanario. Listen, you need to get our guest to come up with a name for him.
I think it's gonna be good. I think it could be good. I think it has potential to be good. You know, we haven't had my God, when was the last good Zorro movie? When
like it's a weird crossover that doesn't make sense, really.
No, they're in the same like timeline. They're in the same. They take place during the same.
Zorro was in the 20s, and isn't Django in like the? Well, I guess it was 40s. No, I don't remember the fucking movie. I don't want to get involved in this conversation. I could have sworn they were from different time periods.
No, they're close enough that they could, in theory, cross over.
But isn't it like Spain and fucking the US? Like, how the fuck is Zorro going to get over here?
Mexico, but yeah, close enough. Mexico and the US, yeah. You know, surprisingly, they're kind of close.
Are they really though?
They're just touching tips. It's like this. It's like
He's
this.
just gonna get a revolver to his face, and then he's got a little that pointy sword. It's not even the sharp one. Yeah. I feel like you can get away with a lot more in Mexico than you can in the U.S.
Ooh, okay. Did we have open borders back then?
Somewhat.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. In other news, remember back when James Gunn and other guy, because I can never remember his name, took over the DC universe, you know, said we're doing things differently. We're not just going to do the big, you know, Superman, Iron Man, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the big trio. Like he announced all your Creature Commandos and a Waller TV show. Like he had fucking said all these crazy projects that were going to come out. I will say he's a man of his word, because one thing he did say when he took over was like, hey, if it's not going to work and we see it's not going to work, we're just not going to do it. Right. And to their credit, because I can't remember one time that Marvel announced something that they didn't put out, regardless of if it was good or not. To its detriment. But there was going to be a Waller TV show that got shelved. There was going to be, oh man, what was the other one? There was something else that got shelved. There was the Batgirl movie, but that was kind of a different issue. But the latest to hit the chopping block was James Gunn had initially said he was going to do The Authority. Now, for those that don't know, The Authority is like a Justice League spinoff, but they're like extreme and whatever. But apparently, from James Gunn himself, he said it's currently been scrapped, that it wasn't developing the way they wanted it, that it wasn't going to fit into the larger narrative that they're building, and that it could come down the line, but not anytime soon. So on one hand, big kudos. If it's not working, fucking move on. Put it on the shelf. Come back to it later. You know,
Kind of sad because I like The Authority.
Yeah. Down with The Authority. But it's a good thing. Like, I think that's
what you got to do, because it's like, it could be a good story. Like, it is a good story. If you haven't read it, I suggest you look into it. But it probably has, like, you know, Spider-Man Noir fucking add-ons and shit where it's like, oh, let's have him flying. Like, let's have him fight a fucking whatever, you know? And it's like, that's not what they do. So James Gunn's like, no, let's shut this shit down.
Yeah,
before
like, this is trending in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So kudos to him. But on the other hand, you know, we got Superman. We've got, you know, Supergirl coming out. Super gal, super people. You know, the Lanterns.
Also doing Superman 2, they're filming now.
Yep. You know, so
Lanterns? Did you see that they just pulled all the trailer? Like, you can't look up the trailer anymore.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, isn't that strange?
So did he pull that, you think, too? Or
no.
Right?
No,
I was like, it's already done. Yeah, and it's even pretty good. It got good. I thought it was interesting. I don't know.
Well, a lot of people were shitting on it because there wasn't much superheroing in the trailers. And also, like, the suits were all brown, which were like, the fuck? They're not the brown Lanterns, it's the Green Lanterns.
It's the teaser, and it's like, yeah, they work up to it.
Yeah, so.
And it's also the Lanterns, which is a fucking gay fucking shit to begin with, but whatever.
The views and opinions expressed by Mad Mike are Mad Mike's alone, and not in any way, shape, form the direct opinions of WTF Nation Radio and Pop Culture Warrior. Viewer discretion is advised.
I got a ring in a Cracker Jack box. Now I got superpowers. I'm
But
gonna make
yellow,
a fucking hammer.
but yellow makes me sad.
I got a
Aw.
light hammer. It's like the light never really hurts anyone. They're like, oh, I got a slight headache. Oh man, like
Right in my eyes. Ah, you
it's like
asshole.
no one's ever like swinging a flashlight around and you're like, whap. Oh shit, thanks, Dick. Just saying. Now, you guys just ruined Green Lantern for me. I'm not watching. And Yellow Lantern and Red Lantern.
God.
Anyways,
One of the
as he
big
said, that might be personal views. That's why I don't have my own show.
So I saw one of the big, like, it's funny. It's one of the big, I mean, again, nerd, geek, whatever you want to call it. There was this big brouhaha forming over the Lanterns trailer because it did show them flying, but they didn't have their signature green hue around them. And people were losing their minds because, like, well, in the comic book, she glows green, which, again, it could be special effects aren't done yet. It could be a number of different reasons. But my favorite was that there was a guy that broke it down from like, well, in the comic books, in Green Lantern number 20, you find out. And it boils down to that the green bubble around them is only needed when they need protection, whether they feel like it's a threat or like if they go into space, it provides they can't breathe in space.
Yeah,
so it provides them oxygen. So they're like, when they're flying around 10 feet off the ground, they're like, there's no reason to have the shields.
But there's, toxins in the atmosphere now. And, then that thing, they can get cancer from the
You ever
radiation
catch a
because the
bug
sun.
flying at 50 miles an hour right into the cornea?
There's goose shit in the air, goose is shitting everywhere. Like, we gotta fucking protect
Oh
it.
man. I just want one scene.
I like
where
how
they're
that's why, like, that's what we're coming to as a neat, like, let's not solve, like, fucking, global warming or fucking plastics or anything. Like, fucking guy doesn't have a green ring around him in a fucking fake TV show.
It's the end of the
Got a
world.
goddamn decoder ring that makes him fly through the air. Everyone knows that decoder rings don't do that. God forbid he doesn't have a fucking green bubble around him, which it's like they fucking did that in the comic books because they got to draw it and they got to make you fucking believe. If you just showed him floating in the air, like, you would think it's stupid. So they got to put a fucking green ring around him. They also have to use a certain amount of ink to fucking, otherwise they don't get their ink for the next month.
Yeah. Which I always thought it was strange that you could see the green glow around them as if it were some type of shielding. But then when you're looking at him straight on, you don't see any green. Like, it's
green, yeah.
It's clear.
It's like he would always have the shield on because he always needs to be protected. Because, like,
So
everything
it's
in the,
weird.
I don't know if you ever listen to everything, but everything in the fucking world is harmful to us at this point in time.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's probably also has a lot of gas. I mean, I don't know. It could just be fucking him farting constantly, and because he's, radioactive, it's a green fucking aura around him.
What if you were in the green bubble and you farted? Would that just, like, you just Dutch oven yourself in
Yeah, you're
space?
just like, oh.
Does the bubble have filtering?
I knew he shouldn't have stopped at Taco Bell.
Is there filtering in that thing?
He's always on the road. He doesn't have time to make his own meals. He's eating fast food. So it's like always nasty farts.
Oh man. So
Also, if you're flying through space, you only had 15 minutes of oxygen or something, like in that tiny whatever it is 511 bubble.
Well,
solve that one, fucking
the
nerds.
ring makes green air, so there you go. It's breathable green air.
Bullshit. And issued 213 and a half. He didn't make air. He said he doesn't make air, and he almost died by the the orchid villain of the Naru whatever. No one read Green fucking Lantern. It's a fucking terrible character. It was a backup character.
Can you tell Mad Mike went to improv classes? He graduated from improv school.
CQ was my teacher.
That's how we met. So here's some quick hitting news for you as we round down the hour. Invincible, the TV series, is planned for 7 to 9 seasons, according to Robert Kirkman. We just wrapped up season 4. Season 5 is slated to release in 2027. So, yeah, I mean, if they could ramp up production, man, we can get these yearly, these 8 episodes.
Keep drawing, you fucking assholes.
Don't stop drawing. Don't stop drawing.
Guys are like, oh, fucking no, my arm's falling off.
Draw with both hands. You gotta draw both hands and feet at the same time. Just crank them out.
Everyone keeps canceling our data centers. We could have AI do it. You fucking assholes.
Anyway, you know they shop the production houses
All
like
that
in
shit. You got
Vietnam.
13,000 China people like fucking
There's little
drawing for
kids.
2 cents a week.
There's a reason why the animation's very low end.
Yeah.
It's 'cause it's a
I
bunch
draw
of
these
kids.
weird yellow and blue fucking white people. I don't know. It's very weird.
The Lord of the Rings of Power season 3 is reportedly set to premiere later this year. For all you Lord of the Rings nerds.
Oh, I'm so sleepy. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Every time someone says Lord of the Rings, I get so
It's
sleepy.
just
Just everyone walking.
one remember when there were remember when there was new cartoons every day 40 years ago? Yeah. Like that, and like I think a season of Spider-Man was like 62 episodes. God,
Yeah.
they abused
And that was people
back
actually
then.
drawing shit, and then they're
Hand drawing.
They're like flipping the paper and then
It's
filling it.
flip books. They're just making flip books.
It's like one guy drew the same fucking arm like 1,000 times, and that's what he
Oh,
did for a
man.
year.
Yeah,
And it was for 30 seconds of the
30-second clip.
one episode. That was before unions ruined everything.
Oh god damn it. Let's see, Silo, a show that I'm really excited about. Silo season 3.
I still gotta watch that.
Oh, it's such a good show. It's set to premiere July 3rd on Apple TV. Obviously, dude, Apple TV. I'll give credit.
They can bring it. Yeah.
It's really been going well for them. And the stuff that they're pumping out, like, just I want to say like it was like Amazon Prime and Apple TV for me are just some of the most engrossing stuff to watch right now. Between, obviously I'm a huge nerd, so all the superhero stuff and whatnot, but I love my sci-fi. I love the mysteries, the dramas, and yeah, I think that season 3 is supposed to be really good. Reacher season 5 is reportedly in works at Amazon. Season 4 premieres later this year. I mean, obviously they're gonna milk that franchise till he's till he's 80.
A few more years till he beats up a couple more of his neighbors.
till he fights the wrong neighbor. God forbid, if he didn't have that GoPro footage, oh man, that would have.
I mean, he would be done. We wouldn't have any more Reacher. It would be canceled.
Reacher would have been canceled already. Yep.
Yeah.
I saw this article that for the first time in like years, Marvel's actually going back to San Diego Comic-Con. They're going to have a Hall H presentation at Comic-Con, which is something they've skipped out on for a couple years since they got the big D23 and all that.
Yeah.
They didn't feel the need
Pay to come to our Comic-Con.
Yeah. They're like, why go to your Comic-Con? We'll make our own. So that's
yeah, it'll be super exclusive. You have to subscribe it's a D23 is like the biggest scam ever. It's like an incredibly large amount of money, and then you'll get the chance to put in for a chance to go to the thing, which is super limited.
Maybe, possibly.
And then you still have to pay to go to the thing if you win the fucking thing to get in. It's like, you cocksucking. Anyways.
You're such a descriptive.
As much money as I give Disney, it's like you should just invite me to the fucking thing. Like, you make me jump through all these hoops. It's like, I already give you so much of my income because I'm forced to, because I got married, but whatever.
Who told you to have 2 girls and get married and have 2 girls?
It's like, I really hate that you guys made Little Mermaid and all these really good fucking cartoons because you guys really ruined my life. Anyways, and now you're trying to take Marvel from me, you fucking shitbags. Better hope James Gunn doesn't do a good job over there.
Oh man, I think he will.
He's doing great. Anyways, go on.
Anyways,
Sorry. I need a lot of disclaimers for when I'm on the show.
The views and opinions expressed by Mad
Expressed
Mike.
by Mad Mike are his own, and
Are his
he's
own and in
suffering
no
from
way
a lot
affiliated.
of other things going on.
He's
in
got
his life.
PTSD and all the other things. He's very angry. Very,
Disney is a trigger.
The
Even though he
word
goes there every fucking day.
the word Disney's a trigger for him. The last thing that I was going to share was that the Gears of War movie apparently has a strong script in development, and apparently
Kevin
Netflix
Hart and The Rock are going to be in it.
I knew you were going to say that. Yes, apparently it's going to be Kevin Hart, The Rock, Jack Black, and
guy
Terry
that plays
Crews.
Lobo. Who's the Hawaiian guy? That's
Jason
Aquaman.
Momoa.
Jason Momoa is going to be in it.
Yes.
Not gonna-
Yes, they're all going to play the same character.
Yeah, I knew
different
it. I knew it was coming.
Nailed it. And but yeah, no, it's going to be on Netflix. Apparently, that Netflix is going hard on it. Pushing 100% to make it the best it could be. Again, we've talked about adaptations in the past. The good ones, the bad ones. The Last of Us. I think really Walking Dead really kind of started the trend of like, hey, let's actually treat this.
But Netflix hasn't really done they did The Witcher is their only good one, but that was Cavill running it. So
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to like.
you got like a one, and I don't know what else they do. Resident Evil, which was
Yeah,
not really got
friend
high
of the
hopes.
show, Robbie Amell was in it, and he was great.
You know,
He was
like
phenomenal.
Amazon or HBO, I'd be like, okay, they kind of got it, but it's like,
But yeah, not surprisingly, there's another Transformers movie in the work at Paramount, of course, because they're gonna
what? Mark Wahlberg needs more money.
they're gonna milk that.
Nope,
bad
Shia
boy.
LaBeouf needs bail money. Sorry. None of these people are coming on our show. I don't know why we don't have
God.
guests.
There's a long list of people that won't come on the show because of what you have
They
said.
watched me on this show. Yeah, that's why I don't come on that much.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've given you an hour of all the up-to-date news and pop culture. I see our guest is in the green room standing by, so we're going to toss to commercial. And when we come back, we have an amazing interview with someone who's going to spill all the beans on the insights of Hollywood and the entertainment machine and comedy and writing and all the things. You're going to love it. So stay tuned for that. Mr. Mad Mike, I thank you for your service as always. Thank you for being here for the first hour. And
You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah,
good night. God bless. What is it?
I actually was going to go watch Daredevil, but then when you told me who our guest was, I was like, I might listen to this episode.
I might actually tune into this piece of shit.
If the audio works, I don't know. We'll see. So if you see me saying, if I text you good episode, it's probably because you did a good episode, not Daredevil.
Thank you. Thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it. All right, guys, we'll be back with more show right after this. Shots.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, alright? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, would you think because the show is going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
In the shadows of the city bright, where heroes rise and take the fight, there's a voice that breaks the night. It's CQ with the insight. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop Pop culture, dreams, and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight. Marvel at the twists and turns, villains playing, heroes learn. Every episode we'll discern lessons from the past to learn. Games we play and books we read, CQ's list of what we need. Memories that make us bleed, together we will take the lead. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another fight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light. With CQ leading the charts so bright, we're ready for another flight.
Hi there. You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. This is the way.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pop Culture Warrior. I am of course CQ, your host extraordinaire. I am so freaking excited for tonight. Oh, I can't tell you how much excitement I have tonight. Tonight's guest is a man whose comedy work has reached millions, whether they know his name or not. He is a Peabody Award-winning writer and producer, a 4-time Emmy nominee, and one of the brilliant minds behind some of the most iconic sketches from Key Peele, including the all-time classic substitute teacher sketch that introduced the world to A.A. Ron. I mean, you know it. You don't pretend like you don't know. You didn't even watch the show, you know about it. His career his career also includes work with The Second City, Saturday Night Live, MADtv, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and so much more. These days, he's performing stand-up comedy, teaching the next generation of comedy writers, developing new film projects, and speaking out on behalf of creators all over Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive straight into this. Please welcome tonight's guest, the amazing Rich Talarico.
All right.
Let's
Hello,
go.
hello.
Let's
Hello,
go.
everyone.
Man, you are legend, right? I thought I knew a lot about you just from the brief, and then as I start diving in and I start like researching and look, I'm like, oh shit, he was involved with, oh wow, he did that and what? So first off, we bow to your status. We are great admirers of comedy. Obviously, I love stand-up comedy. I love writing, and obviously, I host a pop culture podcast. So Key Peele is up there with the legends of pop culture for sure. Oh man, I don't even know where to dive in to start. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. A lot of people know your work, right? But they might not know a lot about you. So when someone asks you, what do you do? How do you describe Rich Talarico in 2026?
Well, thank you, my friend. And thank you for having me. It's such a treat to be here. I think of myself as an artist, and if people haven't tuned out after that, I'll keep going. But I wear many hats. I'm a producer, I'm a director, I'm a writer, I'm an actor, I'm a stand-up comedian, I'm a teacher, I'm a director, I'm an editor. And I love all of it. I just love being creative on whatever level I can, anytime I can, and been very grateful to, work in a lot of different capacities.
Outstanding. And I mean, you said it all. You've done stand-up, you've done improv, the acting, the producing, the writing. Which version of Rich came first?
Well, that's a great question. Thank you, my friend. I think one of the first things I did was a high school musical, and my school was really poor. We grew up poor. Like, we didn't have sports one year because they didn't have it in the budget. I mean, it was, they didn't have a lot in the town. And we had this terrific English teacher who, after many years, with no musical either, decided to put up a musical. And I was really interested in art and drawing and things like that. And a guy in my art class was like, hey, let's go to check out the auditions. But we really wanted to be on the stage crew. But I saw people auditioning, and it caught my attention. I auditioned, and really what started it for me was in that musical at 15 years old, getting my first laugh from a crowd. That was a touchstone moment. And, that was my first love, was acting, and I got into stand-up comedy shortly after that.
Outstanding. Yeah, and you came through the Second City system, which has produced monsters in comedy. What did that environment kind of teach you that is something you still, like, it still matters today?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I can give you some perspective. If you allow me just to go back in time,
Please.
just a tiny bit. So I did this musical in high school, and my art teacher, I knew, his name is Talarico, actually. He spells it incorrectly, though. But he was my art teacher. I'm still friends with him. And, I knew he owned a nightclub. And, I was already doing little stand-up things at the high school, and I thought, well, I'll ask him. And I said, hey, I want to do some stand-up comedy at your nightclub. What do you think? He goes, I love it. Let's do it. He didn't even think about it. And at 17, I was doing stand-up, and I started doing community theater. I dropped out of community college, and heard about Second City. I had heard about them. They sent a brochure, and within a couple of months, I was living there, and I was 19. And my first teacher was Stephen Colbert. Incredible guy,
Wow.
incredible teacher, all about the love. And I took his class, and then we were all going to audition as a class to get into the proper training, the conservatory program. Everybody but me and my scene partner gets in. So it's just me and two other people. I had moved there and I really thought I was one of the best people in the class, to be honest, but apparently I wasn't. I retook Colbert's class. This time I auditioned at the end of the class with a whole nother team of people. Everybody but me gets in. So I go to Colbert and I say, hey, what am I doing wrong? What should I do? He told me, go find Del Close and Sharna Halpern. They're teaching the Herald on the north side of Chicago. And this is what was Improv Olympia at the time. And I went up there to take some classes. The ethos was very different, teaching the same thing, but with a different mentality. And I really loosened up, ended up getting into Second City, auditioned for their touring company, and then didn't get in. And then went back to Improv Olympic to do more shows and classes. And then I auditioned again for Second City to get in the touring company, didn't get in. Went back to Improv Olympic, went back to Second City, auditioned a third time, didn't get in. Went back to Improv Olympic just to get more stage time. And I remember thinking, I'm up here with all these losers at Improv Olympic. But these losers were Tina Fey, Rachel Dratch, Adam McKay, John Favreau, Jack McBrayer. I mean, just these incredible people. I think I said Adam McKay twice, but that's how good he is. And eventually I did get into Second City. I did the national tour for them, and then eventually got into the resident companies. I worked there for 5 years, complained about it for 10. And that was like kind of what I really wanted to do in Chicago. And I think I'm remembering your question from a few years ago. You said something about what did I take from there to here?
Yes.
And well, it's the journey. It's the road of trials. It ain't supposed to be easy. I don't think. I think that it is, Bob Ross, the great artist, says that talent is an applied interest. And I took that to heart. I took a lot of the advice I got to heart. And look, things are still tough. It's always tough if you're in, the entertainment business. It's not always an easy path. There's a lot of challenges, but you just keep coming back and keep doing the work. And that was what I took from that, because I definitely kept coming back.
Yeah, I'm so glad you shared that, because it's so easy to fall into the trap of, oh, he wrote the Key and Peele skit, like he's got it. How easy? Like you don't see the work, the years, the failures, right? It's these the tip of the iceberg. You don't see the whole thing under the work. So thank you for sharing that, because people need to know that, man. That it's
for sure.
It's a marathon.
They're lessons. There's things that you can learn, and I think you guys say adapt and overcome.
Man, he's learning the military lingo. He's getting in there. Oh God. There's comedy and military stuff. That's for days.
Oh, I know that. Well, I've been working with Vets with Benefits in LA, and now ASAP, of course, very happy to be working with them. And I appreciate you military folks. I was in the Boy Scouts and I went AWOL. And I did work with the USO in Chicago 30 years ago doing improv for them. So have a great appreciation. A lot of my family are in the service, and really appreciate all you guys do for us. So thank you.
Outstanding. No, we thank them for their service and for what you do for veterans as well, of course. Now, I don't want to be the guy that's like, let's talk about the hits, but just for a moment, allow me for a moment to just chef's kiss. It's so good. We have to talk about the substitute teacher bit.
Sure.
When you wrote it, when you were writing it, did you recognize that there was something there? Like, is it, because I gotta imagine some stuff you're like, this is good, and this is not my best. Like, when you're writing this, what's going through your mind? Like, is you're like, oh, we got something here.
I think, of course, I got something there on anything that I'm working on. Otherwise, I wouldn't be working on it. I think there could be something here. There's enough for me to keep following it. I talk about this in my writing classes, which we're doing a new one starting in June with ASAP. That there are a lot of strikeouts. When I worked for Leno, he did 30 jokes a night, but he reviewed 300 a day to pick the top 30. For Key and Peele, we needed 128 scenes for the final season. The writer's room submitted over 500.
Wow.
So I don't think, nobody knows. Lorne Michaels doesn't know. He has a good feeling. He's willing to roll the dice on it. Sometimes it comes in, but I think it was a surprise that and not to correct you from earlier, but that thing's gotten billions of hits across all platforms. And everywhere I go, people do know it. I've never met somebody that doesn't know it, so it's incredible. But I don't know if anything that we were putting out there, we thought they were good and we're glad people were liking them. And then some of them spiked and, went very far into the consciousness. I think also it was during COVID. It was something teachers shared with students and students shared with teachers, family members, all the people with those names. And it was based on my 8th grade teacher. It was the origin. So usually I'd have something that I'm starting with, of course. And that was based on my 8th grade teacher, Fred Chudy, rest in peace.
It mispronounced a lot of names, I see.
Well, yeah. Well, he was our homeroom teacher, second homeroom, because we were allowed to leave for lunch. It was a middle school. But when you came back from lunch, they had to do a second homeroom to make sure everybody came back. So he was tenured and checked out. He was ready to retire. And we had some exotic names in our class. And he would just kind of look at them quickly. He didn't really try. And there was a girl named Lori Babiars, was her last name. So he'd look at that and he'd go, Babish. Babish. And then Lori Babiars would be like, here, I think you mean me. And we had a girl named, or a guy named Chester Dobrinsky. And he'd look at that and go, Djinsky. And then we had Olga Plachotnik, and he'd see her name and, his head would implode. But yeah, it was based on Fred Chudy. There was some improv on the set. There were some things that were not in the script that they found. I wasn't there when they shot that one. But the casting was perfect. The kids totally nailed it. Keegan, of course, brilliant. And so very happy that people enjoy that. And, we need more laughter in the world. So if people are laughing, I'm happy.
Yes. Billions. Oh my God. Anyway, because we talk a lot about pop culture and like there are certain things that just everybody okay? There's just certain things that
it's one of my fans.
hey Ron, what's up?
Are you everyone Culture Warrior? Right
Yeah, exactly. I'm on a show. We actually have. I know someone near and dear to me who, and God bless you. His name was Aaron. I won't put his business out there. He changed it, mostly not because of that, but funny enough, he did have a speech impediment and would stutter and would get stuck on A's. So a lot of time he would say, my name is Aaron. And so when that skit came out, holy shit, it was cosmic coincidence, but he changed his name. So it's not Aaron anymore. But I'll tell him you sent his best.
Don't tell me the new name. I don't want to write a sketch.
There you go. Exactly. But why do you think, right? Because no one is closer to this than you. Why do you think that sketch and a few of the others, I think the President Handshake one, Racist Zombies, like there are certain ones that just like latched on, and still, if I'm scrolling Facebook or TikTok or whatever, you'll still see the clips coming up and
every day.
Hundreds of thousands of views and likes and all that. What do you think is it about those sketches in particular that kind of just latch on and stick around?
Well, the stars aligned on those. And I had a friend who was a writer at MADtv, and he said that years ago in a meeting that the stars really have to align for a sketch to come together, because there's so many people involved: the crew, the cast, the camera, the background, everything, music, editing, directing, performance. And it was just a wave that Key and Peele created, because they brought in people that they worked with on other shows. There were a lot of MADtv people involved, especially in the crew. And it was the stars aligning. And I think as far as the material, there's my ride. I'd like to think that it's because what comes from the heart goes to the heart. I was writing things that were amusing to me, and things that I knew Jordan and Keegan could do well. I worked with them at MADtv. I knew them in Chicago years before that. And so for me, it was also just admiring their skills and trying to write to their skill sets as best I could. And there's a lot you can do with a duo. They're either peas in a pod or they're at each other's throats. And, that's about it. So, it was a challenge that I really enjoyed. And it was a treat, because they're just sterling performers. And the crew was sterling. And the DP was sterling. The director was sterling. The editors were sterling. The music, the other producers, the other writers, everybody was just catching that wave, and really led by Key and Peele's genius. And, very, very happy to be a part of it.
Let's talk a little bit about kind of the behind the scenes of what's something that maybe fans don't really understand about how great sketches get built, right? We see it, we love it, but unless you're in the industry or in the business, you don't see it's like knowing the magic behind the magician, right? Knowing the tricks. So what's something that fans don't typically understand about writing a great sketch?
Well, it's interesting. I guess the analogy is, you go have a great meal. You don't really think about what goes on in the kitchen. You just enjoyed the meal. And, I think a great sketch has to come from a fostering environment, a place where the writer feels safe and relaxed, and, an idea that's strong enough to support a lot of jokes and, be film worthy. But as far as where they come from, and I talk about this a lot in my classes, and I try to tell writers that, for example, one thing, an idea may come from literally anywhere. There's so many places ideas come from. One is that you can just live life as a normal participant and wait for things to annoy you as a writer. So we're talking about the original spark of an idea. And this is good news for writers, because you're never going to be annoyed again. We don't get annoyed. We just say, thank you, annoying thing. We use tropes a lot with Key and Peele to start with. So a trope is a motif in film, television, literature, other places. And for our purposes, a trope conveys a who, a where, and an expectation. So the old lady with the cat in the tree in the fire department are pulling up. Two people defusing a bomb. These are things, they're liquid gold to a comedy writer, because instantly the audience knows what's going on, and they have an expectation that you could then twist over and over and over. Well, we want the audience to go, oh, I know what this is. This is a zombie movie. Oh, but wait, what's wrong with these zombies? Why aren't they attacking these guys? Oh, they're slowly realizing these are racist zombies and they're not interested in them, and now they're offended. And, so that's one that definitely struck a chord with people. But it's nothing special, in the sense that we're just working with a trope that everybody knows, a zombie movie, and we're twisting the trope, and we're twisting it through the Key and Peele lens. It's an extension and an exaggeration. What if racism got so bad? It would actually be a good thing for people of color, or people that racists would target. Hey, this is actually great.
Right.
The ending of that. Hey, there's a party over here. Come on, we're enjoying ourselves.
When you're writing for something like that, because as you said, the kernel, the truth, the trope, whatnot, do you write in the way where you're automatically thinking oh, this is Key, this is Peele, this is, or is it just, here's the idea, which one do you guys connect with? How do you decide who gets what bit and what part, and how does that all come together?
Yeah, every morning we'd get there, and there would be a meeting, a chance to talk about what you're working on, share it with the other writers, and we'd all kind of throw ideas at each other. So for example, I had one and it came from a trope, an unusual trope that I saw in a movie, and it had a military context. So you guys will appreciate this. But I think it was like the Spanish-American War, and a general was disgraced, and he said to his subordinate officer, "I order you to kill me."
Yes.
And I was like, "What?" Like, I just wrote that down as a writer because, like, I can't believe that that's even possible. Is that possible? Can a senior officer give that kind of a command?
I mean, well, if we're talking about current day military, it's not something that would happen. But technically, you're allowed to ignore certain orders if they go against, certain conventions, like Geneva Convention or war tribe. But
Sure.
continue.
Yeah. So anyway, it was from the Spanish-American War, so a while ago. And I wrote this sketch as basically a general telling a subordinate to kill him because he disgraced himself. And my twist was, what if the guy just didn't do a great job of killing him quickly? And what would that be like? And we read it at the table with the writers, and it didn't get picked for the show. And a couple weeks later, one of the writers came up to me and said, "Hey, what if you tried that, general murder idea with combining it with Coney?" And Coney was a huge African warlord around the time Key and Peele was on. And Coney was this, reviled warlord because he was using child soldiers and all this. And that actually made the idea so much better. I wish I could remember which writer said that to me, but it made it so much better because now there's a reason the guy's terrible at killing him, because he's a soldier over the age of 8, and he's trying to kill him. And there's the whole sketch is just filled with irony because the guy doesn't want to get tortured by the enemy, and he ends up surrendering to the enemy to escape this torture. And then Jordan improvised a line at the end where he yells, "Commander, don't go, they'll torture you," which is just a great dramatic irony ending. So, the sparks are many, and you think of things. When I go into a show like that, I usually have a long list of areas, ideas, notions, whatever they are. And you got to just, be a good farmer. Don't harass the ground. Try to let those ideas grow. And yeah, when you're picking like Key and Peele, definitely I knew their strengths. It was easy to pick things for them. And the writers are in charge of the casting of it typically. And, I would always try to deal them out evenly. If there was like a featured part, I'd do one for Keegan. Then my next one where there's a featured part, I'd try to do it for Jordan. But a lot of them, they were together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, man. They nailed it so well. You touched a little bit on SNL, on MADtv, on Leno, and more. Here's a challenge for you. Like, which writer's room kind of taught you the toughest lesson?
Well, it's really interesting. I'm trying to think of what the toughest lesson might have been.
Yeah, we dig deep here.
I guess, it's a really interesting question. And I mean, I guess everything's a lesson, from the micro to the macro. And rather than mention a show, I will just say, I'll say it in the nicest way possible, which is when writers support each other, the show does better. And I'll tell you, I won't mention the show, but we had one brainstorm on a show that I was on. And a producer called for a brainstorm, brought everybody in, and then sat in the middle of the room and said everything everybody pitched. The producer would be like, "Oh, we can't do that. That's too expensive. All right, what else we got?" And then somebody else would pitch something and they go, "We did that in season, whatever." And eventually I watched all the writers just clam up. So I learned, and I do this a lot in my classes, where I encourage writers to, pitch everything and say everything that's on your mind. Like, you don't really start rejecting things in the pitch phase. Like, a brainstorm is say yes to everything. So that's a lesson I think that I learned, and also how to do things cheaply. I learned that on MADtv because MADtv never had money. SNL was crazy money.
Right.
And Key and Peele was like middle, I guess. So yeah, I guess there were a lot of things along the way, and they're fun to think about for sure.
Interesting. Yes, a lot of yes and right. You can't knock can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You gotta just give it all.
Why not?
Was there ever a sketch or a bit that like you loved it? It spoke to you. You wanted it, and for whatever reason, it just never came to life.
Oh, sure, of course. I mean, I think you do root for all of your sketches. It's a really great question, my friend. I think, well, one that comes to mind, and I think I pitched it at a couple of different shows because I really thought it was funny. But it was basically at the bubble wrap factory where they make bubble wrap. And the sketch is mostly like the manager asking people to stop popping the bubble wrap. It's like, I know you all want to pop a little, you know, I'm okay with a little, but lately you guys, and you hear all this popping while he's talking. He's like, guys, please, please. So he goes, all right, get it out of your systems. I'll let you pop. And they're like jumping on it. And they just can't stop popping the bubble wrap. And I thought that was such a funny idea, but that one I never saw the light of day. But, you know, that was kind of funny to me because it is irresistible.
It's too expensive. Too expensive, man. We can't do that.
Right.
All that bubble wrap.
Maybe they didn't want to invest in the bubble wrap. Maybe. No, MADtv would say. MADtv would say, if you wrote a sketch that took place on an airplane, for example, they'll go, "We love this, but we're going to put it aside until we get 2 more decent airplane sketches," because they only wanted to rent the fuselage one time.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Or they'd come into the office and they'd go, "Does anybody have anything that could be shot on a kitchen?" Because they'd have a kitchen set, and rather than tear it down, might want to get one more shoot out of it, you know?
Oh man, that's such a great lesson for, like, you know, the fiscal responsibility of shooting. Get as much as you can.
Yes.
Even if it's not good, let's get in the can and we'll come back to it. Let's talk a little bit about the classes and the comedy writing and that. And you're teaching comedy writing now, and from your perspective, as someone who's come through the industry and gotten to where you are, you're seeing these new writers. What are the bad habits that you're seeing a lot of the new writers bring to the table?
Yes, of course. Well, you know, and I've been very lucky. I'm in my 31st year of teaching. So I've been teaching this whole time. All the time I've worked on shows, I was always running classes. And I think one of the bad habits is people are sometimes reluctant to do deeper dives and to get to know the characters better or spend more time doing research or riffing. Like, people just want to get the thing on the page, and sometimes just, you know, brainstorming the idea out a little more. I often say, don't develop sketches, develop ideas. And when you develop an idea fully, there might be 2 or 3 sketches in there. So I do teach a lot of like brainstorming technique. I hear a lot of writers say, I just got to sit down. I hear this phrase all the time. I just got to sit down and do it, as if sitting down somewhere is all of a sudden going to turn you into John Steinbeck. And I don't know that that's the case, because I feel like I saw the George Carlin exhibit at the National Comedy Center, and his daughter Kelly donated all of his stuff. And one of Carlin's processes was he'd write ideas down on little slips of paper and bring them home. And then he'd put them into Ziploc bags. And one Ziploc bag said religion, another one said dating, another one said politics. And when the bag got full, he'd dump it out and look for the routine. So I try to share that with the students because I want them to know that, you know, being a good writer, we say, is like being a good farmer, and good farmers don't harass the ground. So when I'm writing for Key and Peele, they wanted 1 sketch a day from every writer. There were 6 writers in the writer's room. But we wrote way more. We would just turn in as many as we could, like I said. And, you know, if something's not ready, you just put it lower on your list. You try to find something you can knock out, and you just try to get a flow going. But the bad habits to me are people that are maybe afraid. And I'll say one other thing, and maybe this isn't a bad habit, but this is something that every writer needs to find, is inspiration. And that's, in the last 2 years, I've noticed this. And I feel like this is the only writing advice is worth giving, I think, is find your inspiration. Because if you're not inspired, you're toast. You're never going to sit down if you're not inspired. And I wrote a movie with a partner last year, and it was a comedy, action comedy. I couldn't wait to get back to the computer to work on it more. I would think about it when I was out because I was inspired, you know, and there's such a difference when you're inspired or if you have to write something, if it feels like homework. If you're not at play at the keyboard, it's going to be very challenging. So get inspired. Try to find the inspiring thing about what you're up to, and that'll help.
Oh, that's oof. You just changed somebody's life out there. I'm just telling you right now, I'm inspired. I'm ready to, I want to start writing now. I mean, let's hang up. I got to write. I'm going to ask you a question here that is going to be a little challenging because, it's kind of shooting you as the professor here, but can comedy actually be taught? Or can it only be sharpened, through whatever process?
Thank you for that question. I feel like
Remember, potential students of yours. So.
no, I feel like I go back to that Bob Ross quote, which is talent is an applied interest. And I will say I had some people in my class in the last couple of years that were let's say a retired school teacher who'd never done it but had the passion and had an interest, and by the end of the class they were kind of bouncing around. They were excited. They had a problem at one point with some of the screenwriting software, but I stayed with them after class. We went over it, and now their scripts look great, and they were really proud of that. So I think if they have the right attitude, anybody can do it. If you're willing to learn, if you're willing to be humble and start where you are and just start doing it, of course. I say this all the time. Making it as an artist is making the decision to be an artist. After that, you're always just leveling up.
You're always just grinding it out.
Well, you're leveling up. I'm trying to do things I've never done. So is somebody that's just starting. So is Spielberg. Everybody's trying to do something they haven't done yet.
I remember I did stand up with ASAP and then going out and performing and things. I initially had that thought of like, oh, well, if you're funny, then you can do this. And if you're not funny, you can't do this. But I very quickly learned that there are people that are naturally funny. And then there's the people that can like professionally write funny, right? And they can perform funny.
Yes.
What do you think is it that really separates that, right? That the funny person from the person who can write funny?
Well, I think it's the continued dedication. Not walking away after you get your first rejection or your 10th rejection, not quitting. Somebody who's indefatigable, who will say, I'm just going to keep doing this because it's my passion. Joseph Campbell, one of my favorite writers, says, follow your bliss. And how can you go wrong if you're following your bliss and something that brings you and other people joy? If you're talking about like somebody getting into a professional mode, a lot of that just happens when you're constantly doing the work on whatever level you can do it. So I always tell students, do the work on whatever level you can every day, and you'll always be leveling up. And don't worry about the next thing. Because for me, in a lot of ways, it just kept showing up. So I'd fail at Second City, I'd go to Improv Olympic, and before you know it, somebody's asking you to do a show at some coffee shop, So I say just do the work and don't worry. Don't worry about if you've made it, because I think making it is just making the decision to do it. And now you're on a path, and you start from where you are, and you just keep going. And for me, it's a lot of purpose, because I feel like, especially, I've been alive for 52 years. And I think the world is so dark right now, and I think we need laughter more than anything. So
yes,
teaching makes me very happy, because I know I'm like, oh, well, there's 10 more people that are going to at least try to put more laughter in the world. So if some of them become professional, some of them don't, who cares? We still got more laughter in the world. If they did it for 5 years or 10 or 20, they're all getting an award in my book.
Yeah, and man, it's so funny you should say that too, because especially through the work with ASAP, I got to sit in a lot of people going through the comedy writing, improv, stand up. And I always thought to myself, even if no one goes through this and becomes this, professional comedy successful, it's such a unique way to look at the world. It's such an amazing way to, things that used to drive me nuts. I would go, oh, that's going to make a great joke. Like, oh, that's
Right,
the premise right there. That's the punchline. And I always tell people, I'm like, do something creative, because a lot of people are just angry. I feel like you don't have a creative outlet. Like that's what you need first and foremost. But especially when it comes to comedy and I don't know, it's the way you look at the world, and everything becomes this puzzle, this Rubik's Cube that you got to figure out and make it good. But I love this conversation so much. Thank you. If someone is watching right now and they more than anything, they want this. They want to break into the industry. They want to follow this passion. What should they be doing this month, right? Not just someday, but right now, what do they do to get themselves started on that path?
Yeah, well, again, I want to pick apart your question just a little bit, because
Please.
You're saying, what can they do to break in? You're already in. You're in. If you've made the decision to be an artist, you're in the industry. You're in the business.
Mm.
That's it. There's no breaking in. Now it's just leveling up from wherever you are, realistically. So write a few sketches, go out and record some, take a class, put up a show at a coffee shop, put up a show at a theater. That's it. So there's no breaking in. It's not like you're just going to suddenly be on, Paramount's front door. I think you're in the industry already. You've already made it if you've made the decision to be an artist, and now you're just going to try to do things you've never done before. And that's the lifelong path.
I love that.
So if the only success is, I was on a television show that won an Emmy or something like that, who cares really about if that's your only goal? Like, I think your goal is to become great, to crush the level you're at, which is where you are right now. And there's no shame in being where you are right now if you're at the beginning of your journey. But then just crush this level. Go do some shows, do some open mics. Just get going. Just start doing it.
Oh, absolutely. It makes total sense. If the actor comes out and goes, my goal is to win the Oscar, and it's like,
sure,
maybe book a commercial first. You know what I mean? Like,
sure,
smaller sites and level up.
You can still want that. You can still have that dream. But I think in the meantime, you do whatever you can do, like what's really within your control, and you could be a creative genius anytime you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, just take a step from where you are. I think I agree with you there.
To your point of not breaking the industry, level up. I love that. You said go out and just shoot something. Go out and write something. Sure. Do you think that social media has helped comedy, or has it made people lazy in I can just throw out whatever?
Well, I mean, I don't know if those are the only two options. I think like with everything, it has a plus side and a minus. If more laughter happened because of social media, that's a good thing, but there may be some thorns on those roses too. I don't know. I mean, if somebody's lazy, there's not much that we could do to help them. And because they're not inspired. If you're inspired, you're not lazy. And, if your heart's in the right place and you want to make comedy for the right reasons, and you want to make great comedy, that's really what you I hate to say should, but what you could be thinking about is, how do I just make something that's really interesting or cool or different or funny? And even SNL, like when SNL reaches out for writers' packets, they often say, don't write what we think is funny, write what you think is funny. So there may be lazy people out there, but I know there's a ton of hardworking people out there who are very passionate and interested. And so for the lazies, I hope they find inspiration. And for the motivated, I hope they keep being motivated. And, use social media for the tool that it is, and know that there's probably some downside somewhere.
Do you think, and this is a challenging question, because, I like to believe that, as a society, we get better, right? I know, like you said, there's some dark times right now, whatever. But, hey, we got away from slavery. We got away from segregation. We got away from all these things, so that, like, we have evolved. We have leveled up. I love coming back to that. Do you think that comedy has it gotten smarter? Has it gotten softer? Because I think we had like how the 80s were with comedy, and then the 90s it was very different, and then the 2000s brought like the parodies and these things, and so comedy has evolved and changed so much. Where do you feel, as being someone who's kind of on the pulse of Hollywood, for lack of a better word, like where's comedy right now in your mind?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you say that it's changed, but maybe it's changed. I still think, again, I keep going back to my classes, we have a new one starting in June, everybody. We talk about what a joke is. A joke is always the same thing. A joke never changes. It's always a puzzle for the audience to figure out. And a joke is a joke. So I don't think like what a joke is has changed. Just like I don't think what a song is has changed. Now they may reflect different things because music reflects the culture in a lot of ways. And sometimes I think music's changed in the sense that, especially in the professional sense, it seems like there's not a lot of voice, not a lot of, there's a lot of ways to kind of keep voices to be a specific thing. But anyway, as far as like just the individual artist away from any corporate idea or network idea or studio idea, just the independent artist or the artist making things, comedy's the exact same. It's still, you still need to make jokes. You still need to let them solve puzzles. They may look a little different. The styles may change. And same thing with music. It's like the styles of music change, but it's still, chords and, a quota, a verse, a refrain, and a story is still a story. A status quo interrupted with consequences and a climax. That's what most sketches are. It's a story. Now, it just may reflect different value systems or things that are going on in the world, but I think it's the same. Maybe the voices are somewhat different, but right, if you're laughing, there's a joke in there, and if there's a joke is a joke. Like it doesn't matter who's president or what year you're in. A joke is a puzzle, where the audience adds up 2 + 2. And if that's what you're doing, you're telling jokes, it's still a chance for them to add up 2 + 2 and go, oh, I get that. I get what you're saying. We'll be right back. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's so, you're right. You're right. You make me feel pretty dumb, but that's okay.
No, not at all. Not at all. Look,
this is great.
What you're saying is like the world is always in some new fad, trend, horror, or whatever's going on in the world.
Yeah.
But there's still human beings, and we're still writing jokes. And I think like on the corporate level, there's a very much narrower window. Maybe they seem to be taking less chances. To your point.
Yeah.
So comedy hasn't changed. I think the systems that put it out there have changed. I'm kind of hoping that they'll trust people more and they'll take more chances and make more independent or newer ideas.
Yeah.
But they want to make money and they don't want to take risks. But that's where all the good stuff is the risk, I think.
Yeah. I mean, if you never challenge the status quo, you're just you're McDonald's putting out the same hamburger, right? Like you want different flavors, you want different sides and sauces. You gotta mix it up. That's where, I remember the first time I saw a time travel movie and I'm like, holy shit, like that blew my mind. I never thought about that. And then you see or where he's like, oh, the killer was the twin. I've never thought of that, but it's been done a million times. But but it challenges the way you think about these things. And I think that's, for me, comedy has always been so good at yes, it's about getting us to laugh, but sometimes too, putting up a mirror, right? To society, to culture, to mainstream, and pointing out like, yeah, this is pretty silly when you think about it. I mean, Jerry Seinfeld was great. Like, well, it's kind of silly when you're sitting at the waiting room in the doctor's office, and we all just do it because we're told to do it. But he pokes fun at it. let's switch gears real quick because I know we're running short of time, and I definitely don't want to
we're
hold you
good.
longer.
We're good. I can stick around a little bit. I've got some battery left on my phone. So.
Oh, God bless you, man. You're such a well of knowledge, and we're touching just the tip of it. We're just touching tips.
I can stick around, CQ. No problem. No problem.
Oh, you're amazing. You've got film projects in motion, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of stories are kind of like pulling you in right now? Where's the creative juices flowing?
Thank you, my friend. Well, I'm in Buffalo, Niagara Falls area right now, and I was here last year for a few months. I saw a ton of locations, met a lot of actors. We raised a little bit of money, not enough to move forward. And I went to Florida. I was very lucky to be in Florida for the winter, and came back here, and everybody I knew in Buffalo was mad at me. Because it's like, oh, welcome back. You missed everything. But I've been up here working on a film project that I wrote a couple years ago that I'm trying to get off the ground. And it was a official selection of the Beverly Hills Film Festival as a script. And I think it's a really fascinating story. And it's a historical dramedy. And it's about the first person to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. It's this, and the movie's called The Widow Daredevil because she was 63 and a widow when she did this. Now, I'm 52. I couldn't even get in a barrel. Like if the stunt was just get into and out of the barrel, I wouldn't even be able to do it. But she got in this barrel. She went over the falls and she really didn't get the credit she deserved. Her manager stole the barrel and took it on tours without her. 10 years later, a man came along and did the same stunt and got all the credit she never did. And I've kind of made it a somewhat historical, somewhat fictitious. And there's another character in there who ends up becoming a suffragist, one of her former students, and kind of stays in contact with her. And we end up following the end of the story to women getting the right to vote, where this girl suffragist was inspired by the Widow Daredevil. So it's a really interesting story. It's very, very cool. And a lot of people in this area have been embracing it. And we might be doing some live stage readings of it. And this is what we were talking about earlier. Just do the work on whatever level you can. Right now, we don't have the money to start shooting the film, but what can I do to move it along? I know Forrest Gump took 9 years to come to the screen. Back to the Future took 5 or 6 years. So it takes time sometimes with film projects. You kind of have to shepherd them. And, we're trying to get actor attachments. I have a couple of other projects that I have in the pipeline, movies. One I wrote with a partner, and it's based on my stand-up comedy. And because in my stand-up, I do a joke where I say, people love to tell me what I look like to them. Recently, someone told me I looked like a sensitive biker. And then I go into it, and I do the biker handlebars and everything. And I'm like, guys, I think it'd be a whole lot more considerate to the other motorists if we all rode single file. So it's about this biker who's a very rough and tumble biker, but he gets into an accident and wakes up as a nice guy. And it's kind of like, Liar, Liar, where he has to pretend to be a bad guy even though he's not. And he has to kind of get his family out of, the biker world amidst this huge drug deal that they're doing. And it's a really funny comedy. That's one that, again, these are very expensive projects. I didn't write, a one location horror movie, which I wish I did.
It's not a sketch.
Yeah, not a sketch. No, this is definitely, a big Hollywood. It's got car chases and motorcycle chases. It's got everything. So I'm hoping that we can get a studio interested in that, or maybe some actors that, might move the needle. But that's part of now I'm wearing my producer hat, and that's part of being the producer. So I wrote the script, and now I'm trying to get it produced, get it in the pipeline. But as you know, things are a little bit slow in Hollywood, and, hoping we can find a path for some of these projects. So in the meanwhile, I'm also shepherding some film projects and kind of thinking about the next one I want to write. Probably will be a one location movie that you could shoot for $5,000. That's my next one.
Hey, that's the way that, what was it? I think Brie Larson, The Room, right? Where they just shot it and then we're going to shoot in a closet. This whole movie takes place in a closet. Yeah.
I saw that. It was very, very compelling. And, make your weakness your strength. We only have one room. Great. It's called The Room.
They're in a room. It jumps to mind the Ryan Reynolds one. Where he was in a casket in a coffin. He's buried, and that's the whole movie. It's just him.
Oh, I never saw that one. Okay.
Oh man, it's claustrophobic. If you're claustrophobic, do not watch the movie. But I was like, man, It's like they spent all their budget on Ryan Reynolds, and they're like, well, fuck it, we'll just put him in a box, and we're gonna film the whole thing in a box. Man, there's so many things. Let's talk a little bit about the corporate piracy, because I know that's a big thing for you, and it's something like, as a pop culture show, and I you know, we try to, like you said, you know, the world's a dark enough place. Like, I don't want to talk about all this, you know, bad stuff and things, but this is something that I did feel like on this show we spoke about. We were behind the writer's strike, the actor's strike. Like, you know, when they said, hey, let's not talk about movies. We turned this show, we were talking about collectibles, card games. We're like, we'll do it because we really do support, you know, the men and women that make the things that we love so much, and a lot of times don't get enough credit for it. You know, you've been outspoken about ending corporate piracy. For people that maybe this is the first time they're kind of becoming aware of this, what does that mean?
Thank you. Well, we're talking about pirated content on the internet. This can include clips or full shows. And typically when these third-party uploads or pirated uploads go up, let's say to YouTube has an algorithm called Content ID, and they can instantly recognize it, has a digital fingerprint, and they contact the studio and says, hey, somebody uploaded, you know, your clip from this movie or from this show or whatever it is, or a song, and do you want to take it down, or do you want to leave it up and monetize it? More than 90% of the time, the studios are choosing to leave this content up, and that's fine. The problem is the studios are claiming they're not making any money on this. So they're basically lying to the unions, and unfortunately the unions are buying this lie. So the studios are saying we're not getting paid. Now, the reason we know that they are getting paid is because of a 2007 lawsuit where Viacom sued YouTube. Viacom's now part of Paramount Global for $1 billion over 160,000 clips on YouTube. And in 2014, 2015, Paramount executives were saying, we're going to get on YouTube. That's the place to be. If you're not on YouTube, they're just going to watch something else on YouTube. And they made a very concerted effort to shift all their content over, which is a whole nother issue because we're not getting paid on that either. But basically, corporate sponsored piracy refers to when studios monetize pirated content, which is fine. But once they adopt and monetize that content, they have to pay actors, writers, directors, and musicians, and they're not. And YouTube's own transparency report admits that since they started Content ID, YouTube has paid $12 billion to the studios, $3 billion in 2024 alone. Endingcorporatepiracy.com is the website. You can read the letters that we wrote to the unions, and fans can also sign our letters. There's writers and actors from 100 shows that have signed these letters. Endingcorporatepiracy.com. It's got to come to an end. And that's just really one of a few ways we're getting ripped off pretty badly. But corporate piracy has got to come to an end.
It's so true. So obviously we post clips to YouTube and things. Yeah. I do a lot of press stuff. So I think one that jumps to mind, Tony Hale was in a comedy movie called Sketch recently. I'm interviewing the cast. Like, they sent me the assets to use, to put together the thing, and I upload the interview. Copyright strike immediately. You're using so and so's stuff, and so I put in a dispute and I say, hey, they gave it. This is for an interview. I'm promoting the film. And within hours, I get sorry, we've removed the strike. But what that paints a picture is, like you said, the company is seeing it. They're identifying it because they're saying, like, if you leave this content up there, they will take the monetization from it. So it's exactly to your point that, they're getting access to this money. And what, a billion uploads a day on YouTube, some crazy number like that. So
it's a lot, yeah.
But
it's the pirated clips that they are monetizing. They could take them down and they could say, hey, but there are a lot of them they're leaving up. I would say more than 90% of the time they choose to leave them up. And you can see it if you look at. You can go watch Simpsons clips for days, Key and Peele, Saturday Night Live, which I also worked on. I mean, it's endless. And all we want is for them to pay us for any use. That's what the contract says. If there's use, there's got to be payment. And I don't want to obfuscate things because there's so many other issues, but I'll just stick with corporate-sponsored piracy for now. Would really appreciate it if folks would visit endingcorporatepiracy.com and read the letters, see who signed them. And fans, like I said, fans can also add their signatures. So thank you for bringing that up. That's
absolutely,
cool of me.
absolutely. No, we're gonna, and we'll even separate from this, we'll post it up, and we're gonna encourage everybody to go out there, sign, participate, because I
thank you.
Obviously, I don't want to come up like conspiracy. They control the media, but you're not going to hear that from the mainstream media and things because they're the ones controlling the thing that makes the money. So I believe
you may be right. You may be right. I've written a lot of press releases. I haven't gotten a lot of traction. I've talked to a few reporters who talked to me for a little bit and they seem to shy away. But again, with that concerted, I'm coming back. I'm going to come and audition again for Second City. I'm going to come again at this issue. So, talking about what we took away from the early years. They're not going to want to give up their, the share. But as I look at, especially irritates me when I see actors and writers and other people posting like their 1 cent check. And you see a lot of those posts. So I usually try to sneak, if I see one of those posts, I sneak in our website and kind of say, hey, you're being robbed. Please join the fight. So we just need more actors and writers. And the other thing we can leave this topic at this, but I will say everyone's up in arms about the Paramount merger. Mm-hmm. This is the Achilles heel. This issue, among others that I'm aware of, are a ticking time bomb in their books. And I also sent letters to the FCC. I sent letters to the Department of Justice, Antitrust, and to the California AG and the New York AG, letting them know about these issues and some others that we don't have to get into. But endingcorporatepiracy.com is a big passion of mine lately. Last couple of years.
No, absolutely. No, we fully stand behind the writers, the actors, the unions, and them. We've talked a lot about it on this show, the AI stuff, right? And it's right now, I mean, it's nowhere near good enough, but like the goal, you can see it. These companies, the goal is like, all right, this will be a lot cheaper to make some robots do it and things. And we don't want that. We want people. We want real flesh and blood people to come up with these things. If, from your perspective, if tomorrow the industry said, hey, Rich, fine, we're listening. What is the first practical fix? What do you think is the first step that needs to be taken to kind of correct a lot of these issues?
As far as corporate piracy or
corporate
AI
piracy or any of it. Take your pick. Dealer's pick. Dealer's choice.
Oh, well, I mean, as far as AI goes, I'm pretty against it. And like everybody, when it came out, I experimented with it. I put my picture in there and had it, me as a spaceman or something. And I ran for Writers Guild office. And in my statement, I talked about AI. And I said, as long as it's supporting artists, not robbing them. I think with AI, and I quickly will mention this, like if it's something that, and a friend of mine was mentioning this, and if it's something that humans could never do, like, process huge numbers or do things that humans could never do. But if it's attempting to take away human work, I'm completely against it. And I've become even more against it. I was kind of like, well, let's see if it can do something. But in the last 3 or 4 years, it just seems like, that very disappointing Val Kilmer project, which I'm not going to see. And so if again, if the industry were listening and I could say one thing, I would say, be fair and take more risks.
It's so many things. I like you.
I like you too.
I like you.
I like you too, man. I like you too. Jeez.
We can just keep doing this. This is the Abbott and Costello bit. Who's on first? When AI first came out, and it's like within a year, AI is gonna find the cure to cancer, and then the big thing was like Will Smith eating spaghetti, and I'm like, come on, man, where's flying cars? And we were promised so much, and instead AI is, like you said, making me a spaceman. I'm like, this is wasted potential. For this, give me Skynet. I'm ready. Just let the robots take over. Fuck it. I'm good. I'm good. I give up. Not yet. There's so many, the stand-up comedy, the writing, oh man, there's so much. Like I'm so excited. I love talking about this stuff. Let's do
friend. Me too.
Let's do we're gonna do some little fun. We're gonna do a little rapid fire, let's get the energy up. What is the hardest laugh you ever got in a room?
Oh, that's easy. This was at Second City, and we had a director, a wonderful guy named Mick Napier, who was one of the founders of the Annoyance Theater in Chicago, and he was directing for Second City. And Mick was very unconventional, but respected the roots of Second City, as we all did. And in the Second City process, you basically go in every day, 5 days a week during the day, and you're bringing in ideas, you're workshopping them through improv, and then you're putting them on stage at night. And you're working really against the previously written show. And one at a time, you remove those old pieces. And when you've done the full swap out, you've got the new review. And so this process of writing goes on like months, like 3 months. And, you're bringing in stuff every day. And there was one day where Mick, the director, said, bring in something that you would never dare put on stage at Second City. And 6 of us brought in ideas that day, and 4 of them actually made the show. And the one that I would never dare put on stage was something that kind of happened in an improv, where we were improvising something in front of an audience, and somebody was calling for Superman to come out. So I put a towel around my neck, and tucked it in my shirt, and I sat down in a wheelchair that we had backstage, and I came out in a wheelchair. Now, this is in very bad taste, and it got nothing. The audience was like angry. Was angry at me for doing that.
Oh man.
So now when Mick many months later says, what's something you would never dare do? I say, okay, that's it. And through really Mick's genius, he helped shape this into one of the biggest laughs I've ever gotten in my life. So it's basically a scene where these people are robbing a bank, a villain and his sidekick are robbing a bank. The Superman theme comes on, and I'm wearing the Superman thing, but in a wheelchair with a full shirt and everything. And the audience absolutely went bonkers. I mean, a sustained laugh where we had to sit there and wait for them to finish laughing. And I remember there was one night, because we did that show like hundreds of times. There was one night I remember hearing somebody yell, "We're all going to hell." And that got an even bigger laugh. That was hands down, that's easy to remember for me. And that was, I think, like 1999. So it's almost 30 years ago. But that was one of the biggest laughs. And it was really, Mick made it fit and created a context where it got a laugh instead of people angry at me.
Yeah.
It got a huge laugh, and it was also in the right place in the running order, which I learned a lot about running orders and what comes after what, and for stage comedy anyway. And Mick wrote a beautiful song that was also a part of it, and it actually was like a very beautiful piece. And at the end, Superman leaves and the bad guys get caught because he delayed them enough. And then I make another entrance as Clark Kent in a wheelchair at the end going, "What's going on, everybody?" But that was from a Second City show in 1999. So going back a long ways.
Well, I mean, your audience is definitely your style of humor is definitely for veterans, because they are dying right now. By the way, in the chats, they absolutely love that.
Good.
So you found your people.
Thank you.
All right. If you could take credit for someone else's sketch, like what is the sketch that you're like, I wish that was mine?
Oh yeah. Another easy question. When are the hard questions coming? That's very easy. I think because I've probably done this in my own life, but it's a sketch from Key Peele called Pizza Order, written by Jordan Peele. And he's an extremely obese man who's ordering food. I think people know this sketch. And he's trying to order food, but he's ordering a lot of food from a pizza place. and he's trying to pretend there's other people in the room so that he can justify this huge order. He's like, guys, who's hungry? Do we want pizza? Put your hands up. Let me get a count. 1, 2, keep them up. 3, 4. So he's pretending he's in this huge party. And through the interaction, and now people probably know this sketch, but through the interaction, the pizza guy who's taking the order amidst this huge food order starts zeroing in on one of the characters that doesn't exist in the room, because he says, oh, Claire said you read her mind about the cheesy bread. He goes, oh, Claire, well, she sounds interesting. You know, oh, that's cool. Is she single? And now the guy's like, oh, no, I've got to deal with this guy. So he has to try to get the pizza guy not having interest in Claire anymore. It's so funny. And I show it in my classes all the time as a character sketch. And I was really lucky. I got to write for that character Wendell in another sketch. I think Wendell's 3rd or 4th sketch I got to write. But no, absolutely, that's one of my favorite sketches, probably of all time. Just because it's very brilliant, you know, and it's these little tiny moments. And Key and Peele were so great at like big moments, but also these little tiny, with an eye movement, you knew what they were thinking, and you had all this insight as a viewer, which made it very exciting. So, and Jordan didn't write a ton. I mean, he was one of the head writers, he was one of the producers, but like as far as him like churning out a script, but for the times that he did, all of them were gold. Like he never brought in a turkey.
I love that. I love that term. Who is a comedy legend that you'd love to collaborate with?
Do they have to be alive?
We can. Hey, this is your thing, man. Whatever you want.
Well, I think we talked about him earlier, and I think George Carlin comes to mind for sure. As far as like modern folks, you know, and again, this is probably like a generation ago at SNL. I mean, so many of the SNL people are brilliant. I mean, there's so many brilliant people everywhere you look, but like Kate McKinnon, I think is just so funny, and it's just such a relaxed way. I would really love to write something for her, for sure. But we're lucky. I mean, there's tons of hilarious people around, you know, and you know, I guess I think of the ones that really inspired me going back, you know, certainly the Three Stooges, certainly the Marx Brothers, you know, there's all of that. Charlie Chaplin, you know, huge fan. Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, like going all the way back. But
Oh yeah.
all the way through, I mean, just pick anybody from SNL. And I was so lucky to work there. I worked there for 2 years, lasted longer than Larry David. And got to work with some incredible people there. And I was at Second City with Rachel Dratch, so I got to work with her. So there's been some, you know, great people I got to work with over the years. But no, I think modern, yeah, Kate McKinnon's up there. You know, I'm sure I'll think of 10 more after we hang
Of course,
up.
of course. That's why I love to keep you on your toes. What makes you laugh when nobody's watching?
Well, people can be watching, I think. As far as, you know, what makes me laugh, I think are just, you know, something where I can kind of just enjoy myself, you know, and you know, because I think about these things all the time, especially when you're teaching, you're always thinking about, because I'm the worst person to go to the movies with, you know, because I'll be sitting there going, that's the end of the second act. And everybody's like, just shut up and watch the movie, you know. So when you're watching comedians do their thing, you know, the ones that make you kind of forget that you're watching a comedian. So what makes me laugh are, you know, and it's just my own chemistry. Where do I just click in with somebody? And it can be comedians. I think Sebastian Maniscalco is hilariously funny, you know, and I could list another dozen comedians. But, you know, comedy that I'll say one thing about Key and Peele. Like when I worked at SNL, almost every sketch was somebody talking to the camera. Hi, I'm the president. Welcome to my address. This is the blank show. Here's my co-host blank. Here's our first guest blank. Hey, we're 2 dudes in our dorm room doing our webcam show. And a lot of that was because of the cue cards, and it was just easier to have the, you know, and when I got to Key and Peele, it was so much different because now it was like scenes where performers could perform. So I like those kind of scenes. I think You Should Leave is very funny. But there's so much. I mean, just lots and lots. But just something that comes from the heart, you know, something that's, you know, clever, and makes me forget, hopefully, that I'm watching something.
Yes, yes, I love that. Let's, as we wind this down, because I really am going to let you go. What do you want people to? But let's promote your social media. Where can people find you? What do you have coming up? All of it. I want to know all of it. I want the people to know all of it.
Well, thank you. I got a one-stop shop for you, richtalarico.com. All my social media are there. I'm very active on Truth Social. Just kidding. All my social media are on richtalarico.com. I'm pretty active on Instagram. And richtalarico.com has all my classes that are coming up, including the one we're doing for ASAP in June. And all of my shows. I've been doing some stand-up. I just did 2 stand-up dates here in Buffalo. And I'm going to be doing another one at the end of May for Don't Tell Buffalo, which is that floating comedy show, the Don't Tell shows. But we're doing one in Buffalo at the end of May. And I'm teaching some in-person classes here in Buffalo as well. And I got all kinds of online classes. And I also do writing consulting for writers. And in those sessions, you get my assistant, a guy named James Livingston, who was the writer's assistant on Key Peele and MADtv, which is how we met. And James and I do writing consulting for writers. And yeah, so a lot of teaching, a lot of performing, and a lot of trying to get some of my movies out in the world. I've sold a few over the years, and I want to get one made. So hopefully very soon.
Outstanding. Well, we are rooting for you. We are behind you. We will support you. You are a friend of the show forever. And
Thank you, my friend.
When that movie sees the light of day, you got to promise you'll come back on here. We'll talk all about it. Man, I'm so very grateful for your time and your talent, dude. You are a legend. All my vets out there, go to asap.org. You can sign up for Rich's class. It's free for veterans, for military, for their families. I mean, what an opportunity to learn from the maestro, man. The man, the myth, the legend. We got the link in the chats there too, so people can follow that. I want to give you the last few seconds here to say your fond farewells. And I know you're adoring public. They're out there. They're waiting. They're in line right now for you. So I'll give you the last few seconds here to say goodbye to the audience.
Oh, well, thank you very much, CQ, for bringing me on. And everybody at ASAP has been great. So thank you to everybody there. And sincere thanks to our vets for all you do for us. And very grateful to be involved with you guys and look forward to more jams. So thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Absolute. Much more to come from Rich. He's not the last you're going to see him. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have more show for you right after the break. I'm going to go say goodbye to my guest. Stick around for more. All right, shots.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, right? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, would you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
In the shadows of the city bright, where heroes rise and take the fight, there's a voice that breaks the night. It's CQ with the insight. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture dreams and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the shot so bright. We're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite. Guiding through the tales of light. We'll see you leading the shot so bright. We're ready for another flight. Marvel at the twists and turns. Villains playing, heroes learn. Every episode we'll discern lessons from the past to learn. Games we play and books we read. Features wisdom's what we need. Memories that make us bleed. Together we will take the lead. Pop culture warrior here to ignite.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. That was the incredible, amazing, stupendous, phenomenal, spectacular, thinking of all the words that they used before Spider-Man, uncanny, no, that's X-Men, superior, Rich Talarico, what a fucking legend, what an amazing dude, really was dropping some knowledge, like really some true I can say words, some true gems were shared today. I honestly look forward to sitting down with that interview and rewatching it, and not just living it but rewatching it. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. Go out, support his stuff. The website's there, the anti-piracy stuff. Obviously we really truly adore and love our writers, our actors, our directors, all the people. I mean, again, huge nerd. All these things behind me don't exist without the writers and the artists and all the creative folks that made it possible, right? Not just the mega corporations that bring in all the money, but the actual men and women holding the pen, holding the pencil, holding the paintbrush, holding the instrument that actually make it possible. So I always want to support the creators first and foremost. So we stand with them. I'm going to go on the website and sign and put in my support as well. So thank you all for tuning into another awesome episode of Pop Culture Warrior here on WTF Nation Radio. Let's take a look around the station. Starting off your week on Sundays, we got the reset at noon Eastern. It's our only noon show right now, midday show. The reset with Dr. J, phenomenal conversation about mental health and how to get your week off started the right way, resetting it. On Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have The King and Me with King and his lady, Michelle. And, all your relationship, lovey-dovey, kissy, kind of stuff. Tune into their OnlyFans. That's a wild one. I'm kidding, of course. Following The King and Me, we have the Monday edition hosted by Ice and Massey when he's not a famous touring musician and he has time to, hang out with the likes of WTF Nation Radio. Tuesdays right here, Pop Culture Warrior. You know it, you love it, you're here. Why do I got to tell you about it? Wednesdays, the Smoke Pit's still on a small temporary hiatus. We're going to see if we can resuscitate it, give some life into the Smoke Pit. It's much deservedness. Also, Sports Bar. If you like sports, you Wednesdays, it's Sports Bar. You know this. Thursday, Sergeant's Time with Ice and Spanky. All your military news and what's happening, you know it. Every other Friday is FTX, Friday Night Tabletop Exercise. Last week we played, what was it? March of the Ants. Man, that was a good game. Fuck, it was a good game. Really, really good game. We have some more games that are incoming very, very soon. I think they just sent me a review copy of Catapult Feud. I wonder if it's like Family Feud, but with catapults. We'll see. Tune into FTX, find out. And then Saturdays, weekend co-ops with Nemo, playing all those fun cooperative vidya games, playing all the vidya games, all those things that you do, when you do, how you do, what you do. Shout out to you guys for sticking around watching. Wayne, what's up, man? He says, I'd love to chill out with him. Yeah, man. I mean, I just got to chill out with him, and so did you. You got to chill out with him here, but you mean in person. I get it. Really awesome show. When is Keira Knightley and Kate Beckinsale going to show up? That's a good question. I would love to see them on this show. Let's make that happen. Let's start our own petition. Keira Knightley, Kate Beckinsale on Pop Culture Warrior. There you go. We'll make it happen. We'll do it right here, right now. Let's see. Closing business. If you missed the announcement earlier, just today we locked it in. The interview of Lieutenant Dan himself, Gary Sinise. It is happening. Gary Sinise on Pop Culture Warrior. It is finally happening. Finally, it's happening. So tune in the Tuesday before Memorial Day as we have a special with Gary Sinise. Another one, it's in development. I always hesitate when things aren't like locked in. I hate promising or under delivering. But WTF Nation Radio is teaming up with the Grunt Style Foundation to host a Memorial Day concert in Nashville, Tennessee. Yours truly has been invited to host the festivities. I'm not going to host the facilities. I mean, I might be hosting the facilities as well, but definitely hosting the festivities. There's going to be a party bus brought to you by Upstage Party Bus something. I don't know. There'll be interviews. There'll be musicians. There'll be military influencers. There'll be wild. I mean, it's going to be madness. So is it going to be live? I don't know. I mean, I don't really see how do you live a concert VIP I don't know. It's going to be something. We're going to do something. Something's going to happen. And if you tune in to Pop Culture Warrior and WTF Nation Radio, you'll see. You'll see what it is. At this point, something's going to happen. We also have so much coming up this year between San Diego Comic-Con, the Grand Gathering with Super Show, because our cards are coming out. We are actually going to have, you can actually purchase a CQ, the Specialist Super Show card. If you play Super Show, the card game, members of WTF Nation Radio are going to be appearing in all their glory. There's so many things that I can't talk about yet. I'm trying to think about the things that we can talk about. So yeah, more guests, lots more guests, some creators, some comic people, some actors. Yes, I think that's all we can say for now. But stay tuned. Lots more to come. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good week. We'll see you next time. Pop Culture War, WTF Nation Radio. Shots.
Let's see it.